it's Ruby from Oopie Scraps, and I am back with another album flip through. Today I'm going to be flipping you through my very first Cinch album. So I created this album myself using the We Are Memory Keepers mini cinch tool. I'll have this link down below if you're curious to learn more about it. But it was my first time using the tool, and I thought that a really fun project to do was a birthday album for my boyfriend. So his birthday was October 17th, and I started on this project in the summer, like in August, and slowly just put it together using a ton of photos of our memories in the past like 3+ years. Just a random photo. It's not chronological. It's just some of my favorite photos, some of my favorite memories, and I just had fun with it. There was not any like rules or things I had to do, so it was a really fun way of experiencing this type of album style for the first time. I had a lot of fun with it. It is super chunky, so I will try and keep the stories brief within, but I wanted to give you guys a look at it in case you were interested. So it's about a 6x8, the papers are, but obviously it's not as big as a 6x8 album because it's not in a huge binder. I used some Ali Edwards stamps to stamp a title on here, and then I just covered this with this is pattern paper covering some of this like flexible, it's like thicker than cardstock but thinner than cardboard. It's kind of like a very thin cardboard, I would say. I get this sent when I purchase like scrapbook paper online. They send this, or with photos sometimes, to keep things from getting bent, and I just save it, and you can cut it down and create really nice covers that are like not too bulky, but just a little more sturdy. So anyways, we'll jump right in. I did a really simple little title page, and then this is just some fun celebratory acetate. Opened it up with a photo of me and him and our dog Hazel, who is like our favorite ever. We're obsessed with her. It's one of the biggest things we have in common. And I just thought that'd be a good way of opening it up. And then the first two spreads are of our first two birthdays we celebrated together. So his 21st birthday, I surprised him with this like party boat thing. It was really fun. And then my birthday, we went camping with my brothers on this really cool campsite. They had like all these baby goats. It was very fun. This is just a story of one day after work, we decided to head to the beach. We got Slurpees, we got hot dogs, and just hung out and made the most of a regular afternoon. So I just thought the title Simple Joys, and talking about how even the most simple things can be so fun with us. Then there's some photos of us cuddling up with Hazel. She is like the biggest cuddle bug ever. She loves to be in bed. She loves to be under blankets, on top of pillows. So we have a lot of funny selfies with her. And then we both graduated from UCSB, Santa Barbara, and my graduation was canceled in 2020, so we rescheduled it in 2021. He graduated in 2021, so we were able to walk together, which was super special. And this little quote is from Lord of the Rings, but it's from the Ali Edwards Nostalgia Collection with Laura Wansick, and it says, "All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us." I honestly haven't seen Lord of the Rings, so I don't know the specifics of that quote, but it felt very pertinent to graduation, so I thought that was a good way to use it. Then one of our hobbies we do together is roller skating. I got myself roller skates for Christmas in 2020, and then I got him roller skates when he graduated college in 2021, I guess. And we go roller skating all the time. We bring Hazel. It's so fun. It's a really nice way to get outside. It's just something we do together, so I wanted to document it. Then this was documenting the fair we went to over the summer. I grew up going to this fair in like middle school and high school, and it was his first time. It was my first time back in a long time, so it was fun to be able to show him that. I used some more stamps from Ali Edwards. This was my cousin's 13th birthday party. We went to this like crazy dessert place, but we just have some really cute photos together. So I shared both like special stories, meaningful stories, but I also just shared some of my favorite photos of us together. So I didn't make it too deep if I didn't want to. So just keeping that simple. This was last Christmas. We went to a Christmas tree farm. which I had never been to one before, and he grew up going to it, so that was a really fun one. I just like that picture. This is us at the horse races, which was an interesting experience, but very cute photos. This was our 1-year anniversary, which was during the heat of the pandemic. So May 2020, we were supposed to do all these fun things, and then we ended up being quarantined at his parents' house. So we just had a picnic in the backyard, and it was still really, really special. And it was definitely like not what we wanted, and I was a little bit disappointed, but it turned out to be something I really loved looking back on. This is also from that Ali Edwards collection. I used a lot of paper from the Fantastico collection from Ovid Marshall, just random stuff from my stash, which was really fun. I got to use up a lot of stuff. This was his next birthday. This was in 2020. We went glass blowing, which was super, super cool. Just a little journaling about that. And then these are some music festivals we've been to together, Coachella and Outside Lands. So I just did kind of a music festival page, and it was really fun using all these bright colors, Dance With Me Always, and just getting to use some of these weird things in my stash, like these headphones and this little cassette tape, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. This was summer solstice. I just love this picture. This is over this past summer. And then boba, which we both are obsessed with. We actually got boba yesterday. A new boba place opened up in our neighborhood, which is super exciting because this boba place opened recently-ish, but it's still like a 15-20 minute drive, and the new boba place is like a 4.5 minute drive from my house, which is so fun. But anyways, we love boba. We go on boba dates all the time. He didn't really like boba when we first started dating, and I don't think he had really ever had it, but I got him into it. He was really into strawberry slushy boba, but now I have him hooked on matcha because everyone knows matcha boba is like the ultimate drink. And there's Hazel, of course. She comes with us to do everything. This was his last year's birthday. We went camping. I think I did. I shared a video of my mini trips album. I will link that in the cards for you guys, but I talk more about this whole trip there. But it was a super cool camping trip. Then this was during the pandemic. I convinced him to grow his hair out. So he's always had short hair pretty much always, but he has super crazy curls, and I have curly hair and I love curly hair. So I like convinced him to grow it out all of the pandemic. And finally, May 2021, he went and cut it. So he hated it. It was way too much work for him. He like had days where it looked really good and days where it looked crazy, and it was just, he didn't like it. So I finally stopped forcing him to grow it out, and he went and got it cut. So this was the same day, before and after. So I just thought that was a funny thing to document. This was 2019. We had this tradition when we very first started dating that we went to this like lookout point by where we went to school every month on our month anniversary. And it was just like a fun tradition of getting out, spending time together. It was like super close to school. It wasn't like a big deal to go, but obviously every single month going on this little hike didn't realistically fit with our life. So it didn't go on for that long, and I was a little sad about it at first that we stopped doing it, but I understand why we don't do it anymore. We don't even live in the city anymore, but I do really love looking back on those memories when we very, very first started dating. And then this is actually cool because so this was when we were in Santa Barbara, and like we very first started dating in 2019. So we started dating in May, and this is in July. So this is like 2 months into dating. And then this is June 2021, our very last night living in Santa Barbara. So we were at his house with his friends the last night of graduation. Everyone was leaving the next day, and it was our last night in Santa Barbara. So another one of those quotes from the Laura Wansick collection. It says, I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of what I saw. I'm scared of what I did. I'm scared of who I am. And most of all, I'm scared of walking out of this room and never feeling the rest of my whole life the way I feel when I'm with you, which is from Dirty Dancing. Very dramatic, very emotional, but I kind of thought it was a good way of like encapsulating the feeling of leaving Santa Barbara, leaving college, being done, not knowing what was going to happen. But for me, the most thing I'm grateful for is that I get to come out of this experience with Steven still by my side. So I said today was our last day before leaving Santa Barbara. I'm sad to say goodbye to so many memories and people, but forever grateful for you and our future. So I really love that page. This was my last birthday. We were supposed to do all kinds of things, and again, we couldn't because pandemic, all that stuff. And we ended up just having a picnic at this really cool lookout point. And I love charcuterie boards, I love picnics, I love snacks. So we just got all of my favorite food, and me, him, and of course Hazel all got together and had this really cool picnic, and it was really fun. This is a little thing of our graduation. Again, I ended up documenting our graduation like 3 different times, but whatever. This says there are far better things ahead than we leave behind, and this is from a Nellie and Clem New Year's kit, but I thought it worked with graduation. So our graduation didn't look how either of us could have expected. Our limited COVID version was short and honestly underwhelming, but it was so special doing it together. So we did have a graduation, but it was still a very like watered down COVID version, but it was cool that we got to go together, and this was from our dinner the night before. So, and then here is just a page about how track has been such a huge thing in our relationship. We met from being on the team together in college running track, and now we both coach track at a high school near where we live, and just talking about how we actually spent our last anniversary, so this past May, our 3rd year anniversary at a track meet coaching together, which is really funny, and obviously not what we wanted to do how our anniversary was supposed to go. Again, we wanted to do something a little bit more special, but also realizing that it's so special that we have something so important to us, that track has been such a huge deal in our relationship, and it's just kept bringing us together and being a part of our life and our relationship. So kind of a happy accident. This is from going to the Padres game. We went to this baseball game together over the summer. This is from Valentine's Day we spent in the desert dirt biking. Dirt biking is something my family has done my whole life, and going to the desert is a family holiday tradition trip thing we've always done. So this is Steven's first time going and dirt biking, and it was super fun. Another one of those quotes that says, "Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads," which I think is funny. It's from Back to the Future, but it reminds me of the fact that this was like the dirt, not on the roads. This was when we moved out of my place in Santa Barbara. Obviously, it's hard to leave. Moving is always hard, but this was April 30th, 2020. My college senior track season got canceled. I had to move home because like I wasn't going to go back to school in person. Didn't make sense to keep paying rent. So it's just us, and you can probably maybe tell I was definitely crying. He was crying a little bit too. Don't tell anybody. But I said, this is exactly where we stood when you asked me to be your girlfriend. So many special memories here I will never forget. So that is a special one for us. This was New Year's 2020. We got all dressed up, even though we had nowhere to go because it was December 2020. But it was fun. And I love that about Steven is he's willing to do whatever I want to do, like in the sense that like he'll get dressed up with me and go nowhere. He'll make something special when it really isn't, and just being willing to celebrate and have fun with whatever is the best. This was last December. We went ice skating, and I actually like took him on this crazy whirlwind of a December of doing every single activity. I was super excited about my December daily album, which I will be sharing, or maybe have already shared. I probably haven't shared it yet, but as soon as it's up, I will link to it. But you will see in that album that I dragged this poor guy everywhere. Everything remotely holiday themed we did. And so I was just writing about how he's such a good sport and always has a good attitude, willing to do whatever, always makes stuff fun, and is just the best. Then this is just selfies with Hazel. So this one's from 2021, this one's from 2022, this one's from 2019. It says, as simple as it sounds, I just love taking drives with you and Hazel. Even though it can be annoying, I really love when she plops her head up front to be with us. I love our car selfies. So we have so many funny car selfies of Hazel, and she like wants to be right up in the mix. We do push her back, obviously, for safety, and she does have a seatbelt too, but she sometimes weasels her way up front with us. And then this one says, it's a little vellum pocket. It says, I can't really explain it, but I'm so into you. So there's a song by Tamia. It's called Into You. It's like our song. It's actually a really funny song, but it's just like a thing in our relationship. So in here, I put all these little tags, and on the back, there's just like little messages to him. And then this is a photo of us from a wedding. And then right here is another photo of us from a different wedding. We just have really nice photos at weddings. So those are photos I like to include. I love this photo of us. And this is the last cover. It's just, You Are My Wish Come True. Real cute, real sappy. And it slides open and there's a note to him. So like it's kind of like the card letter portion to the album. So obviously it's a super personal album. It's really special. It's really fun. But I also just thought it was a really cool way to make a gift to someone. This is what I gave him for his birthday this year. And you know, you could do this for your mom, for your sister, for your best friend. You could make like a version for your teammates or for your whatever. Really cool way of making an album. It doesn't have to be as aggressively bulky and crazy as this one is. I actually made a similar album for my cousin for her birthday, and it's way less crazy, but I will probably share that in the future. But I thought I'd share this to you guys and see what you thought, and in case you thought it was cool and interesting. I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I will definitely be continuing making Cinch albums. I have many more Cinch albums that I'm in the process of making already. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.